Here are 3 techniques you can copy from the incredible Diane Parry one-handed backhand to help improve your backhand. Now, this video is courtesy of 12KGP Tennis on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to their awesome channel. I've put their link in the description below. So let's watch a few backhands in a row, and then we'll analyze it. Geez, that is good. All right, the first thing we got to talk about is her grip. That's the first thing you always want to know about when it comes to copying someone's technique or learning from them. So when we zoom in here, we can see that she has an extreme grip. Let me show you the exact grip she's using. Diane has her base knuckle on the corner between panels 1 and 8, and she has her heel pad on the corner, not on the corner, right flat in the middle of 8. This is an extreme grip. Knuckle is far and the heel pad is really far. Now, this is a lot farther than what you see with an Eastern one-handed backhand. This is the typical grip that coaches teach, that I teach, and it's the knuckle and heel pad straight up on panel 1. That's an Eastern backhand grip. By having her grip as far as it is, knuckle on the corner, heel pad flat on number 8, she's able to handle high balls. And when she gets a low ball, she tends to hit slice. Now, the second thing I want to pay attention to is her body movement, how much coil she gets, and then the uncoil to contact. So let's begin in the ready position. And this is 0 degrees, right? She's facing forward, where all the way back around is then 360. So she's facing forward, so she has 0 degrees of body rotation at the moment. She changes the grip using her left hand to help facilitate that. Now her body has turned 90 degrees. But keep watching her shoulder angle. Look how much coil she gets. From her left shoulder to her right shoulder, her body is facing back, albeit diagonally to the back fence. Her upper body is facing the back fence. And you can see her right knee pointing at the camera, her right toe pointing at the camera. She has really coiled, and her opponent can easily see her back. That is, by the way, a lot of neck flexibility to be able to do this. She has rotated, I would guess, about 135 degrees, which is halfway between 90 and 180. You just have to ask yourself, when you are hitting your one-hander, and look at video footage of your one-hander to see if you're doing this, ask yourself, can my opponent easily see my back when I'm taking my racket back? Look, by the way, look at her straight arm. I'm a big fan of the arm being straight before it drops. Big fan. It makes it so easy for recreational players to be able to figure out where the contact point is and to find the contact point. Just a little side note there. So most recreational players I see who struggle with their one-hander, they turn 90 degrees and then that's where they stay because they think, oh, I'm going to turn sideways and stay sideways. That's not the way you want to think of it. You want to think of turning past sideways, then coming back to sideways as you're hitting. So watch. She turning her back to the opponent. As she plants, or when she plants the front foot, that's when you see the racket begin to drop. Now she starts uncoiling, and you'll see as she's hitting, there's no body rotation. So she is a little bit past 90 degrees, or I should say shy of 90 degrees. I would say her body is facing in maybe 15 degrees compared to completely sideways. So she started at 0, then she got to 135. Now, as the racket drops, her body starts uncoiling, just like a two-hander, by the way. And then she stops at the contact point, I would say, somewhat inside the court, facing with her body. But then watch how there's no body rotation after that. She stays from just before contact to long after contact, keeping her body facing this way. She no longer is rotating. And that has to do with her left arm, which we're going to talk about last. But it's awesome to see how much uncoil she gets. So if you're struggling with backhand power, one-hander backhand power, make sure that you that you turn past 90 degrees and then you rotate back to what feels to be sideways as you hit the ball, though your body might be slightly forward of sideways, but then you stay at that angle as you follow through. Now, I already alluded to it. We got to talk about her left hand. So her top hand does something really well, or she does something really well with her left hand. But you first have to understand the three movements that the racket makes on a one-hander. The racket basically goes back high, it drops, and then swings forward and up. Those are the three basic movements. You want to think of your top hand, your throat hand, staying on the racket on the way back and during the drop, and then lets go during the forward movement. That's the basics. I've even gotten into more detail in other videos, but those are the basics of what you want to see. What I typically see is that recreational players let go way too early. I've seen recreational players let go up here at the very top when they turn. You don't want to do that. Watch her turn. She has the left hand on the throat of the racket. So right now you could say that she's hitting a two-hander, right? Because both hands are on the racket. Then watch as she drops, both hands are on the racket. And then when she gets to the bottom, that's when she's letting go. That's the feeling that you want to have. So it's back high and then drop with both hands. Then she's going to swing and actually hit a one-hander. So don't think that once you get to here that you're supposed to let go with the top hand. You don't want to do that. Has a lot to do with uncoiling, helping you to close the racket face, which you can see her racket face is slightly closed. That's what allows her to swing low to high. It's part of the grip system that helps her close the racket face, but you can see her racket face is slightly closed as she swings low to high to get a ton of topspin. But don't let go with the left hand too soon. Here's the reason why. It is critical that your left hand come to about your left pocket if you're right-handed. And then it starts to go back. Watch how her arms really go opposite each other. This is why she was able to keep her body sideways. Many recreational players, they can't stay sideways, but because they let go too soon and they try to move that left hand, their non-hitting hand too far or too early back, that energy dissipates. And then when they go to hit the ball, they unwind way too much. They get side spin. They can't hit their target. So really feel like you're dropping with both hands. Then just before you hit the ball, that's when your non-hitting hand should begin going back. Absolutely gorgeous one-hander. If you can copy her technique, you are going to play much better tennis. Now, the best way to practice these techniques at home is with a Topspin Pro. You can get a Topspin Pro using my link. It's in the description. I'm also going to pin it in the first comment. I absolutely love the Topspin Pro, and I know you will too. And if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, maybe you're looking for new tennis gear, or you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for PlayYourCourt. And it's playyourcourt.com/2-minute tennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. So click right there to grab a Topspin Pro. Go out and film your backhand. Work on the things you learned in this video, and there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.